My daughter Danae is growing into a beautiful young woman. She is ready for a husband now, but am I ready for a son-in-law? I dislike the idea of having one. I always have. A son-in-law is a younger man waiting for me to die so he can take the throne. Yes, I hate the idea of a son-in-law, but my daughter is ready to be married. I don't know what to do. I shall consult the oracle.
Your daughter will have a son that will one day kill you.
How could this be? Should I kill my daughter while she's still childless? Then she couldn't have a son that could kill me. But must I kill her to keep her childless? Shouldn't I tell her she just can't talk to boys? That's a much better plan. I'll do that.
So the king locked his daughter Danae in a beautiful tower with no doors and only one window, which was large enough to put an arm through. The tower was surrounded by a high spiked wall and patrolled by guards and savage dogs. The king stayed away from the tower and just waited for the news that his daughter had died, but it never came. He wondered how she was staying alive.
Soldiers, go find out what's going on. Find out my daughter hasn't died.
When the soldiers got there, they heard the sound of a baby crying. The king ordered the walls to be chopped down. When he finally saw inside the tower, he saw his worst nightmare. His daughter was holding a beautiful baby boy.
I named him Avenger or Perseus.
The king's first thought was to kill the mother and child, but he had a second thought. She must be protected by the gods to have this happen. He decided that he should not kill her, but just torture her instead.
I shall test the gods. I'll put her and the baby on the boat without sails, oars, food, or water. I will see how they do out at sea. If the ship returns safely, I know she has been helped by the gods. If not, she and her son will die, and I will not have to worry anymore.
So the Princess Danae and her son were set into the ocean in a boat with no sails or oars. The king returned to his castle and went to sleep. All night they drifted, and the next day and the next night. Rain fell, which gave them water to drink. A seagull dropped a fish right into the boat, giving them food to eat. Finally, they made it to the new land.
We like it here, son. You will grow up to be strong and brave, and you will be smart. I will tell you the stories of the gods and goddesses, and you will believe. And son, you are a son of a god, and you are a son of Zeus, and that will make you a hero.
Danae and Perseus grew up happy. The king of the new land fell in love with Danae and wanted to marry her. He also wanted to get rid of Perseus forever. The king made an evil plan to get rid of Perseus to be able to marry Danae.
All the men in the land must bring me a gift for my wedding.
Well, Perseus had nothing to give. He had no property, no possessions, and no money.
I can't bring you a horse like the other men in the land, but I will bring you the head of Medusa. I promise you this.
So Perseus prayed to his father to help him on his journey. The gods heard his prayers and gave him gifts to help him along the way. Hermes gave him a pair of winged sandals, Athena gave him a sword and shield, and he also got a cap of darkness which made him invisible when he wore it.
Thank you. With these gifts, I cannot fail.
Perseus passed many enemies, but he defeated them all in order to get to Medusa. He even paid a visit to the Grey sisters, who all share one and one tooth. They told him how to find Medusa. Medusa used to be a beautiful woman, but Athena caught her having an affair with Poseidon and changed her into a horrible creature. Athena made Medusa's fingers and toes turn into brass claws. Her teeth turned into yellow fangs. Her hair was the worst of all. It turned from golden locks into live, hissing snakes. She was so ashamed of how she looked that everyone who looked upon her turned to stone.
I must be getting close to the evil Medusa, for here on the ground lies stone that looks to be made of faces and arms. These must be the people who had looked on her in the past. I will be the first to look at her and not be afraid. I will go to her, chop her head off, and return to the king with her head.
Perseus threw on his cap of darkness. As silently as he could, he made his way until he could see the back of Medusa. He put his shield in front of his face, acting like a mirror. With this, he could not look at her and be turned to stone.
I have you now, Medusa.
Perseus guided himself right up to her with the reflection from his shield. She smelled of bleeding snakes. He raised his sword and chopped through the thick tendons and muscles on her neck. Her head rolled onto the floor. Swiftly, he scooped up the head by its limp, dead snakes and stuffed it into his bag. He raced his way back to his mother.
Hello, Mother. Hello, King. I have brought you your wedding gift. I have been to faraway lands to retrieve your prize. Mother, avert your eyes.
And with that, Perseus pulled out the head of Medusa and showed it to the evil king. The king looked right at it and was turned to stone. Perseus and his mother were reunited and lived happily together. As for Medusa, her head was too dangerous to keep. Perseus threw it into the ocean and it sank to the bottom where it still floats today, making coral wherever it goes.